Welcome back to the Better Late Than Never Club. I'm Beck.
And I'm Frost.
And welcome to the first episode of our special Oscars 2026 series.
Isn't this the second episode?
Well, the first one was like a session zero.
Like an episode zero. This is like episode one. First one was like, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're getting.
Exactly.
All right,
You get it.
I'm with you now. I'm get you.
You've caught up. I'm actually quite excited about tonight because, as you guys may know, we don't watch a lot of recent films. That's kind of our whole deal.
One a year.
On purpose.
One a year is usually what it is.
Yeah, I feel like we got worse. I don't know why. Maybe like after COVID, we just didn't go out a lot.
We stopped going to the cinema during COVID and never returned.
Never returned, yeah. So it was a self-compounding problem because once we stopped watching new movies, then we started the pod, which incentivized us to watch old movies. So we had less time to watch new movies, and here we are.
And watching old movies way more cost efficient than watching new movies in the cinema.
It's true. But as a result of this series, we're going to be watching a bunch of pretty new films.
Probably more new films in this little run of episodes we're going to do than we have seen in like the last 5 years.
Maybe that I've ever seen in my life, frankly. As if you listen to our first episode, our introduction to the series, you would know that the first film that we're going to be reviewing, the one with the breakout amount of nominations, is Sinners.
Which I'm excited for. I don't know really anything about it. I think I heard somewhere something that it's like a vampire thriller, but I don't know, what because vampire thrillers can go 100 different ways. You can have like the dark and brooding underworld style vampires. You can have the vampires, say it out loud, kind of vampires.
Twilight, yeah.
There's a few different takes on it. There's the What We Do in the Darkness. That's not quite.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows, exactly. There's Interview with a Vampire. They're all different takes on how you can do a vampire film. From the cover of Michael B. Jordan, I'm going to assume that this is going to be more like a Blade Runner. Wait, not Blade Runner. Sorry. Just Blade?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
With, what's that guy's name? With the crew cut? He plays Blade. He was one of the first Marvel characters.
I do know this name, but I don't know.
Give me the first letter.
Of his first name?
Yeah.
W.
Oh, it's such an iconic name. Wes. Come on.
That's a nickname for his first name.
Wesley Snipes. Thank you. That gave it to me.
Very good.
Anyway, this could be like Blade with Wesley Snipes. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm thinking more like that because that's like an action vampire.
Well, since you said that, it is classified as horror action on Wikipedia. Or by Wikipedia, I mean Google.
We love an action film and we love a horror film.
It's true. I've heard this is like genre defying / defining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has some high praise just all over the shop, frankly.
Well, you've obviously got a little, I can see you holding your phone there. You've got like a little booklet of notes. What do you got? What's the one too? Because I know other than Michael B. Jordan and action vampires, I got nothing.
Well, in terms of plot, that's all I have too, pretty much. It has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
already somebody didn't like it because, of course.
Well, yeah, but in terms of like, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's talk some data real quick. There's not a whole lot that I have going on here because, again, I don't know much about this movie.
Also, it's a new film.
It had a budget of $100 million.
Big
which
budget.
Is pretty high.
Yeah.
And it grossed about $368 million worldwide.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. There's a couple of question marks around exactly how much it cost to make, and some people definitely were a little harsh on how much it made. Like it wasn't as successful as it could have been, but that I think was a little bit of like biased reporting, frankly, and some people called them out on it. It is interesting that I think this movie got less press given how well it did and how much people liked it.
Well, I basically hadn't heard of it, yeah. So.
Yeah. But maybe that was just our algorithms didn't feed it to us as well as other people.
Who knows?
So let's talk about, since this is part of our Oscars series, I just want to touch a little bit on some other awards going on. So it did get nominated for a handful of Golden Globes. It also won a couple, including, I think, Best Sound. But interestingly, it did lose the Best Motion Picture Drama category to Hamnet. That's essentially the equivalent of the Golden Globes Best Picture, right?
Interesting, yeah.
So I thought that was interesting because we'll be covering Hamnet in a few movies' time. So they were up against each other already this award season. Speaking of it breaking records, so it has now broken and now holds the record for the most Oscar nominations in 1 year.
In 1 year, wow.
With 16. Previously, the highest was 14, which was...
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No. That
only got 11, didn't it? Yeah, we talked about that.
So the previous record of 14 nominations was held by 3 films: All About Eve, 1950, Titanic, 1997, and La La Land, 2016.
Oh, that's wild.
So all 3 of them previously had 14 nominations apiece.
I don't think we've seen La La Land, have
No,
we?
we haven't. That's one with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, and they're dancing and whatever. Now, speaking of, because I thought it's interesting to think about, yes, it's got 16 nominations, but how many is it likely to win? So I was interested to see which films had won the most Oscars, to see what the precedent is, you know, whether they might take that record as well, potentially. Sure. So the record for the amount of Oscars to have won in a year is 11, and that is also split between 3 films. So Ben-Hur in 1959... that was nominated in 12 of 15 possible categories, so it won 11 out of 12, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, right.
Titanic in 97 was nominated for 14 of 17 categories, so won, again, 11 of them. And The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King was nominated in 11 of 17 possible categories, so it won all 11 that it was nominated in.
Wow.
So
Peter Jackson.
A clean sweep, obviously, for what it was nominated in. But so Sinners has 16 possibilities. It could break the record. It wouldn't have to do a clean sweep to even break the record of it'd have to get 12, right?
Yeah.
To come out on top. But that still seems pretty extreme.
Yeah.
I think that, you know.
That has to basically edge out every other single film. And I don't know why. I thought I saw like a news article or maybe heard some presenters talking about this, that they thought Leonardo DiCaprio's film was going to be the one that cleaned up at the Oscars.
I mean, it still might. It was nominated a lot, so it still could be the front runner in terms of actual awards taken home.
Yeah.
So there's not really much else to say. Like you said, it stars Michael B. Jordan, who I know mainly from Black Panther.
Yes.
He
plays Killswitch.
Yes. Killmonger. I think is his name. He was also in the Creed movie, which I haven't seen. I think it's a boxing film, though.
Does he play Creed?
I think so, yes.
Cool.
I think he's the main guy in Creed.
That's awesome.
He's obviously in other things, but I haven't seen him personally in other things. I know him mostly from Black Panther.
Yeah.
1 and 2, although I haven't seen the second one.
Who's our director?
I'm getting to it. One other person I wanted to mention in the film, because I didn't recognize most of the cast, but the second person in the list is Hailee Steinfeld. I know her mainly from Pitch Perfect 3, I think it is. She's like the newbie in Pitch Perfect 3. She's also in, I think they made a biopic of like Emily Dickinson, I think it is. She's in that. She's in a lot of other things as well. She's pretty good. I think she's all right. But I'm intrigued to see her because she's a bit older now. I haven't seen her in her, what I would say, more like elevated level of acting. And I'm hoping to see some of that.
Hailee
Steinfeld. I don't think you would know her. Hence why I didn't even try, you'll notice.
No.
So let's talk director. Our director is a guy called Ryan Coogler. He also wrote and produced Sinners. So he's like across the board on this film.
Yeah, so he's the guy.
Yeah.
Written, directed, and produced.
Now, he obviously really likes Michael B. Jordan, as he should, because he also directed both the Black Panther movies and Creed.
That makes sense. So Michael B. Jordan is his guy. Like, you know how some directors always have an actor they work with?
And the only other feature film that he's ever directed, his first one, is a movie called Fruitvale Station, which I haven't familiar with.
I haven't heard of that.
The crazy thing to me about Ryan Coogler is that he's 39.
Wow, this is big chops.
Yeah, so... which means, if you think about it, you know, yes, he's 39 doing Sinners, but he did the first Black Panther like
10 years
a decade ago.
Yeah.
So he's been kicking pretty huge goals for a hot minute. So I'm excited. That's all the research I have because there's not really much else to say. I'm really keen. I've heard this movie is like, it's obviously labeled as a horror, but I'm not, the one thing I have heard from like other people is that it's not crazy scary. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, I've heard friends of mine that don't necessarily like horror have watched it and can handle it.
Are we talking like a Jordan Peele level of horror?
Some of Jordan Peele's stuff is pretty scary. Like Us, we haven't seen that, but that's like pretty scary from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily draw
I'm just like
two.
some of the scarier films that I would put up there are things like The Nun, right? Which is just like you're just terrified the whole time.
I guess we'll see. We'll talk in the after bit, our comparison to other traditional horror.
Because it's action horror, I expect it to have horror elements and not actually be like scary.
I guess we'll see. Yeah. No way to know until we watch it, which we should do right now.
quest, we meet identical twins, Elijah and Elias, who are known colloquially as Smoke and Stack. The brothers have returned to their hometown, flush with cash from dubious sources. Purchasing an old sawmill, they begin the preparations to open a juke joint. Recruiting musicians, bartenders, and a bouncer, the brothers draw a large crowd to their venue's opening night. Little cousin Sammy is a talented blues musician, and his performance captivates the audience, unknowingly drawing the attention of spirits from both the past and the future. Elsewhere, a sinister Irishman seeks shelter with a couple of Klansmen, turning them into vampires like himself. As the night continues, the vampires try and persuade the juke joint to let them in, but are turned away. Intrigued as to whether they have money to spend, Stack's ex-girlfriend Mary tries to talk to them, only to be turned. With Mary compromised, she swiftly seduces and kills Stack. Almost all of the guests flee, but are rounded up and turned, creating an army of thralls that the Irishman rallies. Those remaining in the sawmill prepare to fight, with all but Smoke and Sammy dying to the horde of undead. The vampires are incinerated as the sun rises. Smoke spends his final hours preparing to kill the local clan chapter, and Sammy ends up leaving home to head to Chicago. Many years later, an elderly Sammy is visited by eternally young Stack and Mary, the trio reminiscing on the night that changed everything. Here's some deeper thoughts on the matter.
You know, until this very moment, I had forgotten that there is one thing I'd seen about Sinners. I'd forgotten, because it hadn't really registered as a spoiler, so to say.
Yeah.
Because it just sort of had passed through my feed.
It was just a picture, a moment in
It
time.
wasn't a picture. It was sort of like, you know, sometimes something will just get through the zeitgeist. So in this case, the thing was, people were talking about what sounds or songs or people would get them outside
Oh, yeah.
Sinners, right?
Yep.
So like they're singing, they're like luring them out or whatever.
Yep.
And like some of them were like more jokey, like a really good song would get them out there.
Yep.
Others were more like sad, where it's like, you know, someone they love is out there, so they would run to them, right?
Yep.
And I hadn't really thought about it because I didn't really know the context of the movie.
For sure.
But that's really interesting now to look back on that and be like, I see what they're talking about now.
I mean, the shop owner, I really feel for her.
Yeah.
Because that's so tough. Because she's got this choice, right? Like, if they don't let them in, they're going to go to town and kill her daughter.
Well, yeah. Look, I don't blame her. No victim blaming here. I think she was put in an incredibly tough emotional experience. She's also got her husband there, like being like puppeted essentially.
And she's just been told that his soul is trapped eternally.
Right.
Unless...
And like his memories are now it gave me real like evil Pluribus vibes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for Pluribus.
Although that comes out like the first 10 minutes.
I know, but still I just need like it was that's all I'm gonna say, but damn, that was like a lot.
That was a lot.
I do think, based on what I wager, they were there for Sammy, right? Like the guy explains, the like lead vamp.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, there's vampires. I don't know why I'm saying spoiler alert now. We always spoil the plot when we talk about it, but...
Yeah, in fact, you've already spoiled the plot just now by talking about the entire plot for about a minute and a half straight.
Exactly. So...
These are the deeper thoughts on the spoiled plot.
Yeah, but I do this bit first.
I know.
Break the illusion. I'm just gonna say I really liked it.
It was a good film.
It was a very good film. I felt immersed.
Yes.
Like it was on the longer side, not too long for today.
2 hours and 17 minutes. Pretty hefty.
You know, pretty hefty, but it was worth it. I thought the whole thing was very worth it. I liked the pacing.
Yeah.
It was really satisfying.
It didn't rush, and sometimes you're in a film, you're like, this bit is dragging.
Yeah.
This film didn't have any of those moments.
No.
It didn't feel like it was dragging. You could feel that it was intentional with its pacing.
Mm-hmm. It was like savoring the moments that needed savoring.
Yeah.
And lingering on those moments and like going into it knowing that it had something to do with vampires, right? You're like waiting, and it's also got a little bit of creeping dread because of the very beginning.
Yeah.
Literally, you were opened with this that's almost like one of the scariest bits, where it's like switching back and forth with his memories and him limping into this church, and we don't know what he is or what he's there to do, what's happened to him, anything.
Exactly.
That's an abrupt beginning, and then it slows right down for like, I don't know, 60% of the film.
Yeah, you forget there's a horror element coming.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then these creepy white people show up.
Always with the creepy white people.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Gosh.
Michael B. Jordan. His characters of Smoke and Stack were pretty excellent.
Look, I don't know if the timing will work out because this movie came out... Maybe I missed it because this came out in like April, I think. It came out relatively early this year. Or last year, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw any Smoke and Stack Halloween costumes. Where are people at? That would have been sick.
They're twins. It's so hard to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I just missed it. Maybe, I'm sure someone did it.
Yeah, like people probably
Yeah.
did it. And like walking around dressed up as Michael B. Jordan with a Thompson, with a Tommy gun. That is in and of itself. It
was a very visually, like the I thought it was beautifully done. Like all of the sets, the dressing, it was very immersive, felt very real, and like
they did like a whole town, all the cars like that. That always blows my mind as we go further and further into the current era and further away from the 1920s, 1930s. They got to work so hard to keep those set pieces time accurate.
Well, to eliminate all signs of modernity, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the cars especially, because they've got to make them look appropriately, or they've got to make them look like used cars from the 1930s.
Right.
You know, not like pieces of history that have been perfectly maintained for 100 years.
Right.
They've got to like rough them up a bit. I don't know. That's a really interesting part of...
I mean, that's a whole industry, right?
Yeah, well, I guess.
That's production design, basically. They're nominated.
It is pretty incredible.
Just before we dive back in, because I do want to talk more about the actual plot and what we liked and thought about it. Let's just talk about the nominations real quick. So obviously it's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And like, oof, that's going to be a tough competition to beat.
I mean, yeah, I can't really pass judgment on that until we've seen a few more of the films in that to really know where it stacks up.
But that said, we did talk about in the sort of the warm-up episode, if you like, what other kinds of films won Best Picture.
Yeah.
And this is definitely on par with those kinds of films.
I think what helps this one stand out, even though it is horror, which as we know is a little bit of a maligned category for films in that regard for nominations and awards, it has the historical element built into it as well. Like it's got a history, it's got real grit, I guess. I don't know, or like a tangible.
Yeah, there's not just a horror premise. It's not a horror premise. It's this soulful blues musical premise that draws in this evil thing. And, you know, it's from Smoke and Stack's evil dad's guitar that sort of plays part into it. Like it's this... look, that whole bit is really cool.
Very cool.
And that's why I think it's not a horror film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's still...
It still is.
I think it's fine to call it that, but I agree with you. It's definitely genre something.
They had to give it something other than action, and they picked horror, and I'm fine with that.
Well, some people say horror drama, which I see that as well, in a way. I don't know. It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
That's all there is to say.
Yeah.
Some people could call me a hypocrite in saying this, but I actually quite liked the way that the stuff about their dad, Smoke and Stack's dad being, they mentioned it like 3 times, kind of.
Yeah. I think they mention it separately to Sammy, once in the car, once at the train station.
And then, of course, talking about the
guitar at the end.
Yeah. And this idea that he is evil. What I'm trying to say is I liked the sort of... They didn't give us everything.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't this like, I need to explain everything to you, you stupid audience member.
Yeah.
It was this kind of in the background mystery, like what does that mean? And it like, because obviously there's supernatural elements.
I mean, there's literally vampires.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not so... it's also very like, it's got a religious thing going on as well because it's like souls and the afterlife and all of that, you know. I thought that the reveal at the end was quite good.
Yeah.
I actually I thought that the personification of this particular vampire was very satisfying, quite old school.
Yeah.
We were sort of talking about it as the film was happening, like what were they going to go for? We weren't sure because there's so many types of vampires.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways that lore has been twisted, like the Bram Stoker classic, you know, Nosferatu, of course.
Right. And I thought this one was like pretty standard, very scary.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful. So that's Best Picture. No, I don't know. I guess we'll see if it's Best Picture. I don't know. I can't really pass judgment yet because maybe we'll watch another one and be like, oh my God, that was amazing. And they're, you know.
Yeah. I mean, look, there are so many different aspects that make this film.
Look, just to round out the thought, I do think that I have never watched a film like this before.
No, never.
And that in and of itself is very cool.
Yeah.
And I like to see those types of movies be rewarded. I felt the same way about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Very different films, but I walked away going, wow, I've never watched something like that before.
Yeah.
That gave me that particular cocktail of emotions.
It didn't follow a recipe. It wasn't built into any predefined genre like every Tom Cruise film follows certain kinds of action.
Shots
No, but
fired.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Literally.
we watched Maverick, Top Gun, Maverick. So,
I mean, that's like formulaic 101.
but that's what I'm saying. So, like, if that is the printing press of movies, this is like,
yeah.
people are out there clicking. What a film.
Change the beat up so we can't stay on rhythm. So let's talk about some of the other noms. Obviously, we've got Michael B. Jordan for actor in a leading role, and he deserves it.
Yeah, it did really
He did
good.
a fantastic job. There was a distinct difference, in my opinion, between Smoke and Stack, which is in and of itself a feat. He looked great. No, but he did. And no, I think he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Frankly, that's all there is to say. I mean,
It was a standout cast. Like, everyone did really well. Mm-hmm. There wasn't anybody I went, like, they picked that kid up from acting school. Like,
yeah.
it was a really interesting cast.
No actress in a leading role, which is fine. There wasn't really a main
No,
female
yeah.
that you could have nominated. But we do have actress in a supporting role, which is Wonmi Masaku, who plays Annie, and she was great.
Is that the shopkeeper?
The mother of his Stack's kid and the woman that saves him. 'Cause
Yeah.
she gives him
She has the mojo.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. And like, she takes charge. She's amazing. Like, the way she's like, something is off. My spidey senses do be tingling.
So I did like, in that moment, that was the horror trope. That's like where you've got the one person who knows what's going on and explains it at the right time just before the preparation montage.
Yeah.
And I liked that they kept that trope in. That was like,
I mean, it just works.
it does
And,
just work.
Yeah. I thought that the scene with the garlic was really good and like appropriately tense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they were like, oh no, it wasn't blood. It was wine.
Yeah. And they've just thrown this dude out in amongst the vampires.
Yikes.
That's a big yikes.
Then we get to actor in a supporting role. And I think this one, I saw a few people very excited, but a little bit like surprised, was a little bit of a wild card of a nomination, which is Delroy Lindo, who played Slim.
The harmonica player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think from what I gather, he's obviously an older actor. And so people are very excited for him to potentially, I mean, he's getting his flowers just for the nomination, but potentially winning, I thought he did a good job too.
It's interesting that they didn't nominate the kid, Matten.
The actor.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the actor. I'm sorry. But you're talking about the guy that plays Sam.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know exactly how nominations work. I know that I think productions put them forward to be nominated in certain categories.
And the Academy shortlists.
Yeah.
So one might presume that there might be 4 or 5 people in the production who could be supporting.
Sure.
Is it supporting male?
It's actor in a supporting role.
So that could be like men or women. That's
So
not.
there's actress in a supporting role and
Okay.
actor in a supporting role.
Yeah. So yeah. So it could be that the actor who played Sammy was in there, but
Could have been. I
the
don't know.
Academy was like, let's give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he did do a good job, for sure. I assume it was also him actually singing. Maybe?
I would say so, because I'm pretty sure that the guy at the end, the old Sammy,
Yeah.
is played by a famous musician.
Oh.
Yeah. Or like famous.
That was cool too, like seeing, like the scars, and then he's old, and then he names his band after the girl, and
Yeah.
that whole ending, not the bit before that with Smoke and him seeing his, lover and child in the afterlife, essentially, that made me teary. Like, it was a movie of many emotions.
I mean, look, my favorite part was when all the racists got gunned down.
Yeah, very satisfying end in that regard. Trust and believe. Very happy about that. But sad, of course, that, the whole thing was just for a few hours of freedom, right? Like, that was the whole thing was going to be, even if the vampire thing hadn't happened, the whole thing was such an awful premise, right? Like, as in what was going to, the plan terrible.
Yeah.
This just in, we don't like racism.
Justin.
We can of course it was nominated for directing.
Yep.
And then we get to original song, which of course is the song and the scene, that was a really cool scene as well. If we're talking about cinematography and direction and editing and all that.
Which song was this?
I Lied to You.
Oh, that's the one, like the big dance hall. Yeah.
The big sequence where it's showing him summoning spirits from before and after and everything. And it shows like the barn burned down. very cool imagery. The whole thing was very evocative.
Yeah.
And yeah, very cool.
It's got some pretty tough competition in original song
Original
though.
song. Yeah. Everyone, I think, pretty much agrees that Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win. So.
I don't think that's.
But here's the thing. If it doesn't win that, I think that's okay. Like, it was a good song, but if we're talking cultural impact here,
Yeah.
Golden is up there.
The Academy will get absolutely rioted upon if Golden doesn't get it, I'm
A
sure.
wave of 12-year-olds.
And their parents, Beck.
And their parents, yes. Now, it was also nominated for makeup and hairstyling,
Yep, that's fair.
which is pretty cool because it did... I thought not only were the pre-vampire...
All of the
looks-
regular people looked pretty good and regular.
Yeah.
But then,
And period accurate, like very
Yeah.
good, styling in that regard. But then the vampire getup was pretty cool too.
very impressive. I want to know how they did the lights in the eyes, whether it was reflective contacts or something.
Or if it was just editing. It could be that.
Could just be editing.
Could just be editing.
Less fun.
Might have been the wind.
I'm a big fan of special effects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, old school special effects is really cool. This is also an original screenplay written by Ryan Coogler. Written, directed, and produced by Ryan Coogler. Very cool.
Yeah, old mate did all right, didn't he?
Old Mate did pretty well. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool to be able to put your name against so many categories on a film that did really well.
He's going to win at least one of those for sure, I reckon.
If he doesn't, I think,
Yeah.
there'll be words.
Yeah.
There'll be words.
We'll be talking to the Academy. We'll be talking Tide.
It also got nominated for casting, which, yeah. It's a new category, so I think everyone did a great job, so I guess the casting was great.
Yeah.
Like, everything worked really well.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I do have one note for the casting director.
Yeah.
Is that Michael B. Jordan isn't actually a twin.
Yeah.
So they could have cast twins.
Interesting bit of feedback.
They took a
I
real...
don't know how many super hot, talented sets of twins are in Hollywood right now, of the right age and look, and acting ability.
All I'm saying is that the casting director probably doesn't deserve to win an award for just copying Michael B. Jordan. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
They were like, we need two people.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that they could have tried harder. They stopped short. No one's mad about it, but I just don't think that's award worthy.
Right. Well, I'm sure they'll take that feedback under advisement. Then we get production design, which we've already extolled how amazing. All of the sets, of course, like you were talking about the cars specifically, very cool. But you've got, I didn't even notice, which is stupid of me, in the scene in the town where
They've got the full segregation going.
full segregation, one side of the street for white, one for black, and the two Asian groceries, and the walking across the street, the whole thing, very cool.
That was a really,
Not
really...
segregation is it called, just to be clear.
But the
shot
and the set.
But
The shot and the set. The shot and the set were both very cool.
Very cool.
It was really well done. Just that was a really unique moment. And it is nommed for cinematography, isn't it?
well, I'm working my way through a list, so I'm sure we'll get to it. It was nominated for basically everything it could be, remember, so I'm sure it was. Film editing, I thought it was edited really well, specifically that sequence with the dance. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But that's also cinematography, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know anything about editing. I don't really know what
Well, think
editing...
about, like, the first bit, right? Where Sammy's walking into the church.
Sure.
And it's like flicking between the scenes. That's editing. You got to edit those scenes together somehow.
Yeah, I guess.
It was done well.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single bit of blank screen where they forgot to put a scene.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the bar for editing?
I don't know.
Because that will be in the story, right? Like, Sammy's walking in, screen, cue to flashback. Do you know what I mean?
I guess so.
I guess it's up to the editor to make that determination.
Well, I don't really know how it goes. I do assume that a director, producer, writer like Ryan Coogler is involved in some of the editing decisions, right? Because in a movie like this, I'm sure they took many takes of a bunch of scenes, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to choose which ones to put together, which pieces of this puzzle to slot in.
Yes.
And so I don't know how many of those decisions fall on the shoulders of the editors and how many of them need to be run by the director.
And then based on that, are they eligible to be nominated for editor if they got like a lot of hand holding? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a strange one.
I really don't know.
I have no barometer for that.
Visual effects Also nominated for that.
Very impressive visual effects. The especially the vampire death at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That was very cool. Like, because he would go from being a completely normal, sort of semi-creepy, threatening Irish guy to having like those elongated fingers and like the eyes. And
They were giving Nosferatu.
his jaw would unhinge. So it was like all really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, some of it was special effects, but a lot of it was visual effects. And then the death at the end where he just goes up in that spiral whirlpool of fire.
Yeah.
Pretty excellent.
Very cool.
Pretty excellent.
And lastly, cinematography, like you were saying, which I think it's hard to know because I'm not an expert, but yeah, that some of those really complicated sequences, they seem complicated in my mind.
Well, I mean, the song shot's a great example of amazing and complicated cinematography, right?
Yeah. Moving around the room with all the different moving parts, all the different people from the different before, like past, present, future, all that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Who else? I don't know if you've got it to hand. Who else is nominated for visual effects?
So visual effects isn't one of the categories that we're going to be watching all of the movies from.
Okay.
But we've got Avatar.
So this movie did not have a lot of visual effects. It had a few really good ones.
But it wasn't like heavy.
I think a film that has a lot of visual effects and uses them well will probably beat this.
Probably.
Just
we also have Jurassic World Rebirth, which I assume also has a lot of visual effects, given that dinosaurs aren't real.
Well, no. That's they're going to get best
got made
casting. They're going to get best casting for sure if they get real dinosaurs.
We also have F1, which because cars aren't real.
But they'll use visual effects to do crashes or speed. I presume there's a crash in F1. That's how you get drama in a car movie.
The other one's just like, wow, they went really fast.
They went around the track a bunch.
And lastly is The Lost Bus, which I actually don't know anything about.
The Lost what, sorry?
The Lost Bus.
As in like a bus that we could...
BUS.
It's what replaces trains.
Yeah, it's got Matthew... I just looked it up. It's got Matthew McConaughey in it, and it's about a school bus driver driving some kids through a wildfire. So you got to assume there's some fiery effects going on there visually.
Yeah, okay.
That they're nominated for. So that's the wild card that we know basically nothing about. But
I don't
necessarily think this would win in visual effects, just like you were exactly saying. I don't know if it has enough, but I'm sure the people voting on it will know much more about visual effects and know what makes something difficult.
The only caveat I will give is if the visual effects category includes special and visual effects. Because I think of visual effects, I just think of VFX like CGI.
Sure.
And I don't, that's not SFX.
I think it does include SFX.
So if the category is both, then this is...
Well, there isn't a separate category. There's makeup and hairstyling. You could argue makeup is a little bit of special effects, right?
I mean, but special effects is like cinema, movie magic.
No, I know.
I don't know.
I think it's interesting also. I mean, we're diving really deep into this one particular category, but like if you compare something like Avatar, which is like so much CGI, like as in it is like mocap and stuff, which is cool and impressive. I'm not downplaying that.
But a lot of it will be computer.
So much computer. And I think it almost feels less impressive when like the whole thing is essentially fake versus trying to slot an impressive visual effect into an otherwise real scene effectively is very impressive.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it well, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah. And it's like, wow, that looks fake and takes me out of it and ruins the shot, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why it was so impressive to have all these like glowing vampire eyes and all of those scenes is because it was done so well that it felt very, like it looked potentially real. Like when you look out into the darkness and you see like an animal's eyes reflecting back at you, that was the vibe, and that's a real thing, and they made it look possible.
So if it's not just like CGI VFX, it's in with a shot, because there was a lot of very cool special effects in this movie.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess we'll see. But I get it. I get why this got a lot of nominations. Now we got to see whether the other films that got a lot of hubbub this year are actually going to give it a run for its money, or if we think it deserves the sweep that it got nominated in.
I think it's going to have an uphill battle, I reckon.
Because of the genre?
Because of the genre.
Yeah.
And because it's not formulaic, and so it's not easy for the Academy, and I think they're going to pick more typical examples. I still think it might get Best Picture, or it might get Best Original Screenplay.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the rest of it because,
Well, it might be one battle after another, you might say. Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I walked right into that, didn't I?
Yeah. Shall we score this thing?
Oh gosh, yeah, we have to do that, don't we?
I think I know what I want. I think I know what my score is.
Do you want to go first?
Sure, just in case we have the same thing and then I steal it.
I doubt it.
I give Sinners the score of 9.2 pickled garlics.
Pickled garlics is good. They did run out of those like right away. Would have been good if they'd
I
had more.
think she threw the fucking jar
The whole
at him
jar.
appropriately.
I rate Sinners 9 dead grand wizards out of 10.
Oh, he was the Grand Wizard, wasn't he?
He was the grand wizard.
Nice.
9 dead grand wizards is better than 1.
Yeah. Absolutely. May they all, in fact.
I really liked the music in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Like the twangy slide guitar, so good.
It was kind of an interesting sensation to be like really enjoying the music, but a lot of the music scenes also had like a deep feeling of dread because of what we knew. The association of the music was this like, oh no, it's attracting this evil thing. Yeah. I thought that the storytelling was really well done. The way that like Smoke and Stack just like show back up.
Yeah.
And there's not this like handheld explanation for like,
It's Smoke and Stack, back from the big city. The gangsters.
wow, it's been 7.4 years since we saw you and I have this relationship with you. And you know what I mean? Like it was just really well done.
It's like in Beauty and the Beast, what's Gaston's little guy called?
Oh, LeFou.
LeFou. It's like LeFou running up to them being like, here's all of the information.
Smoke, you always wear blue, and Stack, you always wear red. It's so easy to tell you apart.
I know, LeFou, it's true.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes from earlier is when Smoke goes into town and he pays the girl to watch the truck with all the booze in it. And so the interaction he has with her is great, where he teaches her how to butter.
Yeah.
And then when, of course, she does press on the horn to come back because this guy's stealing liquor from the truck.
Yeah.
And he shoots the guy in the butt. And then the other guy's like standing there and then he shoots him in the knee. And he's like, I can't let anyone be saying that they can steal from the twins without getting something out of it.
Yeah, without having a limp.
So that whole interaction, it says so much about a character without explaining a bunch of history.
Yeah.
And it was really well done.
And then instead of paying them to get medically fixed up, he gives it to the shopkeep to be like, you paid to get them fixed up. And
Yeah.
it was really good. The whole thing was really good. I'm really sad that the shopkeepers died. They were my favorites.
Yeah. As soon as he went outside, I was like, I'm sorry, you really need to pick a new favorite character. This one is not long for this world.
They had real, like, he was a real, like, my wife guy energy, and I was here for that.
They were cute.
A very cute
Did you
couple.
see when he closed the window, like in the scene where they're beating up that guy for cheating in the gambling den?
Yeah.
He like closes the window and she like looks at him and she's like, my hubby's got it sorted. Like she's like knows that they're beating the crap out of a guy in the room next door, but she's like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Something I didn't see coming was the like shared memory side of things. I thought that was a really interesting addition. Now, some like supernatural things do have that energy, but this is not something I associate generally with vampires.
I associate this with traditional vampires.
Shared memories and shared knowledge.
Not so much shared, but they were his thralls. When he died, they became free.
Yeah.
Right? So imagine this. I'm a vampire and I turn you into a vampire. You are no longer really autonomous. You're a thrall under my command and control. And I know everything you know.
And do we know that for certain? I know that they felt his pain, but they didn't die when he died.
No. They didn't die when he died. They tried to escape.
Yeah.
But they would have become free if they had all lived. If he had been killed and they had all lived. They're undead. If they had escaped,
they'd survived.
They then all would have become free from his thrall and become vampires under their own right. Note, for example, how much more powerful he was than them. He could do big jumps and...
I get that. I agree with you on that front. I just don't know about the whole free of it all. I don't know if they're like free necessarily. I mean, like they're still beholden to the fact that they're vampires.
No, sorry. What I mean by free is...
Well, he can't control them.
Because he's destroyed.
Obviously, he held immense influence over them, but they didn't necessarily outline that he could like completely control them. Or he just... Because the impression I got is that they all sort of slid into some shared I guess you're right. It's like a shared delusion or a shared belief that.
But that is under his purview,
so.
and that is also his manipulation. He's trying to get these people to join.
Yeah, so that they can get Sammy.
Right. He's trying to do everything in his power to get them to join, and presenting that like, oh, we're a happy family, da 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 da. But like, think for a second about how the first two thralls we find, which are the clan members, who are just like dirt farmers from the deep south, now they're musicians all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Like they've acquired his skills because he is puppeting them.
Yeah. It was like the shared brain of it all, the shared mind. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Very much manipulation, like the way that they use that against the shopkeeper. Like,
Yeah.
that was rough. Anyway, that was just something I didn't see coming as far as vampire powers went.
No, yeah. It's a cool one.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really all there is to say. This is a longer ep because I think we really enjoyed this movie.
It was a long movie. It's a good movie.
It was.
And
I would recommend it.
Look, this is definitely one. Tell your friends, go see Sinners. It's no longer in cinemas, I don't think.
Cinesma.
Green cinemas. And especially by the time you'll be listening to this, but you look, get your hands on it, sit
The
down.
idea that it would still be in cinemas almost a year after it came out is insane.
You know what's wild?
Yeah.
Movies did used to be in cinema for a long time.
Yeah, but not a year.
Maybe not a year.
No. I love that energy, but no. But yeah, you can probably find it on streaming or you can find the DVD.
You probably won't find it in cinemas, but take your friends and go see it.
Up next.
I am excited to look at some of the other of our films. I think it's All of the Battles. Something about a bunch of battles. All the battles I loved before. 500 Battles of Summer. Every battle, everywhere, all the battle.
You're making me laugh at you.
I was trying to do a William Wallace battle one, but I couldn't.
Our next movie up in the Oscars series is almost certainly going to be One Battle After Another with its 13 nominations.
Battleheart. I was trying to think of Battleheart.
So, find us in our next episode if you want to hear our thoughts on how...
I've already forgotten what it's called. What is it called? Every Battle, Everywhere, All at Once. No.
He's trolling me, guys.
No, I can't remember. I came up with too many dumb names for it.
Come on, try.
How many words is it?
4.
Only Battles in the Neighborhood. The Last Battle, Man.
If I could look to the camera like Jim in the office, I'd be doing that right now.
Leonardo DiCaprio's battles. What's it? Just tell me.
I literally just said it.
And I'm saying dumb
One
shit.
battle after another.
One Battle After Another. Such a forgettable title.
What I will say is that it doesn't sound exciting.
It doesn't sound exciting.
But we're going to watch it anyway. It got a lot of nominations. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio. We all know how that man loves an Oscar.
He does love an Oscar.
Remember it was such a big deal that he hadn't won one, and then he did win one, and we were all like, yay. Okay.
Good job, Leo.
All right. Catch us in the next step if you want to hear those thoughts. Until next time, bye-bye.
Till next time.
This episode of the Better Late Than Never Club is brought to you by our patrons. Alex, Christopher, Lindy, Matthew, Nathan, and Rachel.
And also our members, Aimless, Andrew, Elizabeth, Raina, Salty Pond, and Simon.
Thank you for listening.